Good afternoon. This is Tanisha Laverne Grant with BlackInAmerica.com. Look who I have on the platform today, a woman who is already making history in her career, Miss Javicia Leslie. How are you this afternoon?
I'm amazing. How are you today?
I am good. Thank you so much for joining us. So
Thank you
here
for
you
having me.
are making history. It's Black History Month. We're closing it out. And so I'm excited to talk about, your career, being a proud alumna of Hampton University. I'm an alumna of Cheyney University of Pennsylvania, the oldest HBCU founded in 1837. I got to plug that, and just being in this historic role, the first Black Batwoman, you guys. This is the first Black Batwoman. I can't believe we're still having first. But wow, what a role. Talk to me a little bit about what you felt or what you were feeling when you were tapped to play the first Black Batwoman.
Excited, honored, shocked. When I originally auditioned, it did cross my mind that there had never been a Black person in the suit. So I never thought I would have booked it, but I did. So I was really, really honored to be a part of the history of this, and hopefully being the beginning of a shift, seeing more representation in the superhero genre in general, seeing more representation in the sci-fi genre. But I will tell you this, and this is something that I think is really important for all of us to remember. Where there is demand, there will be supply. So, it's a journey, and we all have great expectations of ourselves.
We had a star. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
And seeing ourselves in the superhero, we continue to create that demand. We continue to support the artists that are on this journey because it allows us to open up more doors for more opportunity. If Chadwick Boseman had not done Black Panther, would there have ever been a first Black Batwoman? Because society may have still felt as though there was no need. There was no representation needed for that. We didn't fight for it. So I think for me, what I've learned honestly in the last 7 months of my career of doing this show so far is, our support shows that we have a demand. Yeah. And as long as we continue to show that support, regardless, there will be a supply for us to create even bigger and even more monumental opportunities for our people.
Yeah, I love that. What has your character taught you about yourself?
I think that it's funny. Shout out to my homegirl Nafisa, because she just started her line.
I love her. Okay, yeah. I've had the opportunity to interview her a couple times. We're both from the Philadelphia area. I love her. I love her.
She's a real one. She's a real one. But she created this clothing line, Why Fear, and I absolutely love the whole idea and mindset of it. Because
wait a second, what's it called?
Why Fear? Why dash fear? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Shout out, everybody! Grab some Why Fear gear and support our girl.
I love that.
But I love the concept of it because I think fear can be like, it can truly take away all of the strength and power that you can have as an artist, especially in these type of roles. And I don't have the space and opportunity to lead with fear with this role. That's how you get very bland characters. That's how you get very one note, one layered characters, because you just depend only on the script and you don't take the chances to try different things and to challenge your own humanity in this role. And I think that with Ryan, I have been able to take chances that I would have never had the opportunity to take. And it showed me even a bit of my capacity as an actress. And I've now called myself, I've coined the name Javicia Committed Leslie, because I have just made this decision that whatever I do, I'm just going to commit 100% to it. We do, we have a full season. We do 22 episodes a season. So I have time to make up for it if it doesn't work, but I'm going to commit so that I can take this as an opportunity, not only to give my 100 to, but to learn from it and to find, my limits, if there are. So if there is, any such thing.
As a woman who came of age in the DC area, and being an alumna, of Hampton University, how does it make you feel in this moment that we have Kamala Harris, an alumna of Howard University, in the White House, vice president? How does that make you feel?
Seeing Miss Vice President Harris in her role, I see myself.
Yeah.
People try to pick us apart as humans, as people of color, as women.
Yeah.
Because titles make other people feel comfortable.
Right.
But you can say what you want. Like, you don't have to look like her to feel represented by her. Even just being a woman in her world, it was already hard enough. But then to be a woman of color in her world, I mean, can it get any harder? You know what they say, the most disrespected woman in America is the Black woman. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I see her, I see myself. I would probably never enter the world of politics as far as a career, like me personally. So it's funny that I could still see myself in her, because that's not even my career aspirations, but I still see myself, and I see her and I see myself in her. And I'm proud, I'm proud that she's now showing all of us that we can exist in that space too, not only as like the fall man for successful white men, you know what I mean? Not the fall woman as that, to say like we can lead. Yes. We can be the leaders, I'm just super excited, but I'm actually more excited to see what comes from her representation. I think that there's going to be some magic that's going to happen within the next 4 years when it comes to people feeling empowered enough to do what their purpose is. Because there are a lot of people, rather, in underrepresented communities, who have very powerful purposes that they fear walking in their purpose because they've never seen someone that looks like them walk in their purpose. And so seeing Vice President Harris will then just empower someone whose purpose is to do so much, whose purpose is to only exist to create even more freedom. Rosa Parks just chose like that was her purpose. Yeah. She probably in that moment was fighting for, of course, everyone, but for her own self, at that moment, like, I'm fighting for myself right now. No. But that one moment changed
the course
so
of
much for all of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Changed the course of history. Much like your role, much like your character. Like this is history, Javicia. It just is. So when you think about, working in the Hollywood space, and we all know that is it's a difficult landscape to navigate. So when you think about, your future and the impact that you're already making in Hollywood, what do you see? Like, what does your future look like? Do you want to write more? Do you want to direct? Do you want to produce?
This is why I'm so adamant about the whole idea of supply and demand, because where there is demand, there will be supply. When we support our artists at every level of their journey, it creates a platform for them to be able to create our story. We're all waiting for our stories to be authentically told. Yeah. We're waiting to see a Black woman with natural hair who puts her bonnet on when she goes to sleep, not acting as though who does her twist before she puts her bonnet on when she goes to sleep, not acting like this just magically happens. We're trying to see us in all of our colors. And so to allow those content creators to create, we have to support them in their journeys. I am a director. So for me, it's like, this platform gives me the opportunity to be able to create that content, but we have to be there to make these platforms happen and support these platforms and garner, but or gather behind these platforms and continue to say, this is what we want. I love my show because our show creator, Caroline Dries, she loves when we tell her, oh, okay, well, that's not really how it goes for a sister,
wow.
And she loves that. Like, she wants to tell this story as authentically as possible, while also telling the story of Batwoman in Gotham, but this has never been done. So she's so open to to helping to truly nourish what a Black woman in the cape and cowl will represent. Even when we talk about Caroline and us creating the look of what our Batwoman was going to be, they could have kept the same red wig. They could have kept the same suit. She came to me and said, I want you to be a completely new Batwoman. Tell me what your ideas are. So we saw a lot of fan art, and the picture that was released when I booked Batwoman, I have this big natural curly hair and textured. I mean, just like all this beautiful texture that was in it.
Love it.
And a fan had created a fan art based off of it. And so you see this Batwoman in the suit, but then you see this big afro. And she said, and so I showed her all this fan art that had been sent to me. She said, oh my goodness, I love it. And I told her, I said, I just think it's so important because a lot of Batwoman saving happens at night that so you may not clearly see her, but that you see in her silhouette that she's assisted. She was like, I love that. So we, you know, that was her listening to something that I felt was very important and that she also felt was equally important when it came to casting a Black actress to play this role, you know? And so we made sure that the suit accentuated our curves that we have naturally as Black women, you know? The lady that created the wig for the cow is the same lady that did the hair for that picture. So we hired a Black hairstylist, Takesha, who does Kerry Washington's hair. We hired her to come in and create the wig for Batwoman. We're
I love this collective work.
You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do the work. We are trying to make sure that it is represented fully. So we need to make sure that we have all of us supporting this journey, you know?
I love that. You know, Ryan Wilder, wow, you know, when you think about her, when she comes to the screen and you think of all of the young Black men and women who are looking at, you know, you and this character, you know, for those, you know, young men and women who come from, you know, blighted areas, who may feel like these kinds of opportunities are not available to them, what do you want to say to them, Javicia?
I think several things. One, always just make sure you work on your craft. It's the most important thing. There's nothing to talk about if the work isn't being done. You know, making sure that you're constantly nourishing your craft. You're constantly thirsty for more. You're obsessed with your craft. You're watching videos. You're watching YouTube interviews of your favorite artists. You're finding new ways to express yourself that you know you can then lend towards your process, towards your art. You're just just be up. I suggest every artist get the book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It will change your life. But more than anything, there are so many young, new, up and coming content creators that want amazing artists to work with. And we're always trying to rush to what we think is the top. When you look at Issa Rae, she started with a YouTube series, and I'm sure more before that, but like from when I first knew of her before Insecure, it was Awkward Black Girl.
Yep.
You know, and she did that, and like I watched it. She's brought people that she's worked with since then on her journey, you know, and then she went and got into the world of Black and Sexy TV, and same with Lena Waithe with Black and Sexy TV. I did Black and Sexy TV, so it's just like
that was also Numa Perrier. Yeah, Numa Perrier was
Numa Perrier. Yes, yeah. Shout out to Numa. I love Numa. So just making sure that you understand that these artists didn't get from here to there. Like it was this beautiful journey that every part of that journey should be respected and admired. And to me, they're all on the same level, those parts of the journey. It's just what you think they represent, you know, what you think they mean. I actually have had more support from supporters of Black and Sexy than I've had of any other project I've done, because since it's online, since it's a YouTube series, people in all different kinds of countries have watched it. I was literally landing in Jamaica 2 years ago, and this lady walked up to me and said, "You're Mo from Black and Sexy TV," and I'm like, "Yeah, this
wow,
is crazy," you know.
That is. This interview is, this is amazing. I'm enjoying my time with you, but I know I don't have a lot of time. You know, so my final question to you is, when you think of, you know, an ensemble cast, you know, of Black women, that you would love to work with. I think it's so crazy because I look at you and I can see you in a Women of Brewster's Place. Remember that movie years ago, The Women of Brewster's Place?
Of course.
Lynn Whitfield and Oprah Winfrey and Cicely Tyson and the late Dr. Maya Angelou and Robin Gibbons and Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, all these amazing women. So, your future is now. The future is now. You just mentioned Nafisa, who I love beyond measure. So when you think of an all-star cast of Black women from your generation, coming on screen, who are those women, or who are some of those women?
I think of Nafisa. I think of Michelle Michener. She was from what is it? What was the name of the show? Legal. It was the Damon Wayans remake.
Oh, okay.
Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelle. She actually played with me in Always a Bridesmaid. She played my best friend, but just on her ability, authentic, present, beautiful. She's amazing. So wow. I think of Michelle Michener. I love Tiana Parrish so much.
She's another one.
Oh, so much.
Phenomenal.
I think of Nicole Beharie.
She's another one. Authentic. That Miss Juneteenth, boy. That Miss Juneteenth. Woo!
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's so
and I come from the pageant world, so I got it. I get it. Wow.
I think of other young Black females that are Ashley Blaine Featherston from Dear White People.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And then I also just feel like if you're going to have these dynamic, beautiful Black actresses, then we need Queen Mother.
Yeah.
And so I see Miss Angela Bassett over all of us leading the way.
I love that.
On this project.
I love that. Well, we got to speak that into existence. Javicia, you are such a light, you are such a light. And I just want to thank you so much for taking time this afternoon to speak with me, to speak to my viewers, on Black in America. We're so excited to see what comes down the pipeline for you, and just keep going. Keep going. We just lost the late Cicely Tyson, 96 years old, a career that spans 60 years, so much greatness is coming down the pipeline for you, and so embrace all of it and just consider me a media ally. Don't be afraid to reach out to me at Black in America whenever you want to think piece, profile piece, because this is what we're here for. We're here to move you along, to make the world understand of your depth, your power, and your greatness. And
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me your time, your space, this opportunity. I'm super excited. I have a short that I directed called Black Excellence. And it's right now in the Pan-African Film Festival, which is, I believe, in a week or two. So for all of the ones that are into the film festivals, that are getting tickets for the film festival, check out our film, Black Excellence.
Black Excellence. I love that. My father just passed away January 21st. And growing up, he is also an alum of Cheney University of Pennsylvania. And he was always about, you can do it. You can be Black excellence, so I
love it.
Yeah, I love
God bless
project.
Him.
Yes, my father was an amazing man. He was a girl dad before it was a popular hashtag,
I love that.
So yeah, he raised me and my sister on his own. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Sure.
I love that.
Sure did.
Well, God bless him. God bless you and your sister. Know that you have an angel.
Yep.
And I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care of yourself now. Bye-bye.
You as well.